What's going on, everybody? It's Aurora coming at you with a brand new video, and back to back with more awesome drops coming out of Phantom Nightmare. I love when Konami does like this entire month of like a new drop every single night. It's really great for free content. But it looks like tonight we're getting some white aura support revealed coming out of Phantom Nightmare, and I think that's really cool because I'm excited to see what it means for Goaty. Because this is only 4 cards, by the way, much like the last thing we covered, the Magic Spectre support. But I genuinely think that Goaty is a deck with super high potential, and if these white aura cards can provide them with some really good extension through like disruptions and stuff, and it's like some better consistency, then I think it can actually make Goaty a really good deck. And I know they're getting 2 main deck monsters, a continuous spell, and this new synchro right here, white aura porpoise. And so I don't want to waste any more time. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Starting off, we have white sunfish, or white mambo, which I can easily see that being the name either. It is a level 4 water fish with 1200 attack and 1000 defense. You can only use the first effect of it once per turn. If it's in your hand, you can target one level 4 or lower fish monster in your graveyard with the same name as a card you control, and special summon this card and that monster. And if this card is special summoned from the graveyard, you can treat it as a tuner this turn. I mean, technically it is an extender, it can do something, but you have to already have that monster in your grave on your field, or a copy of it. Then you get this and another copy of that other monster from grave. So you're not really getting too much actual, like, use out of the monster you're summoning, because you probably already used the effects of it. And then the second effect makes it seem like you want to summon it off of, like, another effect that would be similar to White Sunfish here. Like, God, imagine having normal summon 1 White Sunfish, and then special this one from hand, and the third copy from grave. Ooh. Just to treat it as a tuner. Not off to the greatest start overall. I mean, I guess it fits with, like, the White Aura gimmick, but definitely not very promising. Let's move on to the next one, being White Sardine. It is a level 2 water fish with 800 attack and 0 defense that you can only use the first effect of once per turn. You can send 1 White Sardine from your deck to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn from the extra deck except water monsters, and if it's special from the graveyard, you can treat it as a tuner this turn. You know, on one hand, I want to say that this is actually not a terrible card that you can play like 3 copies of, because you can just use 1 in hand and then dump another one from your deck to the grave for more setup for something else. Technically, you're also supposed to use this with the White Sunfish, it looks like. Then you get the free body on board, but it does lock you into water, so you can't make things like Baron or whatever. You have to go for things like Drag-Eye or your in-archetype Goaty monsters, as well as like Changing, for example. And not to say those are bad cards or anything like that, and that you have to have Baron and shit on like every end board, but it's definitely really nice to have. So this one is a little bit on the fence for me. After that, we finally get to the synchro monster, White Aura Porpoise. It is level 6 water fish synchro with 2000 attack and 1300 defense that requires 1 water tuner and 1 or more non-tuner monsters, and you can only use the first effect once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower fish monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position. Then you can special summon 1 monster with the same name from your graveyard. And if this card you control is destroyed by your opponent and sent to your graveyard, you can banish 1 other water monster from your graveyard to special summon this card, and if you do, it is treated as a tuner. So very standard white aura effect on the second part there, so we don't really need to pay too much attention to that. But the first effect I can definitely see be really good for going for level 10 synchro plays, because the play you want to do probably is to use this and to summon back like a White Sunfish, and then use the White Sunfish as level 4 tuner. But you can also do the same with a White Sardine, because remember, the tuner effect isn't a hard once per turn, so you could go, for example, it's what it wants you to do, sorry. You go White Sardine effect, dump another copy of itself to special. White Sunfish effect, revive the White Sardine in your grave and summon itself. Use the White Sardine that you just summoned back as a tuner. Go into the White Aura Porpoise, use the White Aura Porpoise to summon back one of the other monsters, and then you can end up going into either like a White Aura Whale, White Aura Bahamut, stuff like that. There's no way to go into Monoceros here though, which I think is pretty funny. But even ignoring the play that it wants you to do, I can definitely see this being played in Goaty for some other plays to go into some of their higher level synchro plays, because it can literally just summon any level 4 lower fish from your hand or graveyard. So it can just get you a nice tuner of any level that you really want to go into like a Monoceros, sorry, I keep wanting to say it Monoceros or something. I don't know the difference. But you can go for like the Monoceros, you can go for the White Aura Whale, you can go for your Ascon Bicorn Goaty, and I mean, hell, you could even go for like a Changing or something if you really want to. The final card is a White Reincarnation, which just sounds super funny for no reason. It is a continuous spell that says you can only activate 1 of it per turn. When it resolves, you can add 1 fish monster that has an effect to treat itself as a tuner from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, if your white aura monster attacked, at the end of the damage step, you can have it make a second attack in a row. And once per turn, if a level 8 or higher fish synchro is special from your graveyard, even during the damage step, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Wouldn't it be funny if this also said special from the banished, so you could summon back your Goatee of the Deep Beyond from the banished during the standby and then nuke the board a second time? That would be hilarious, but this card seems really good if White Aura was like an actual archetype. Like, as it stands, we have now 2 main deck monsters, a main deck spell, and 4 or 5 synchro monsters. Technically, I mean, they have more spells, quote unquote, like Whitefish Salvage and stuff like that, but there's not really enough to warrant this being used for like its other effects. By the way, I think is this the first card that makes it a White Aura archetype? That's interesting. Like, I can see it being used for the first effect for sure, because you can use it to grab something like the White Sardine in order to go into the free body. But other than that, I mean, it's weird because it's a good card. But sorry, I scrolled up a bit too far. It's a good card. It just doesn't feel like that White Aura on its own does enough of anything for it to actually warrant play in anything. Okay, you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, there are some more white fish monsters. We have white, was it Stingray? Yeah, we have white Stingray that can special itself by discarding a water monster. If it's summoned from grave, it's treated as a tuner. White Moray, during the turn you normal summon this card, it can attack directly. If it's special from grave, you can treat it as a tuner. Okay, so there's technically more the White Aura cards, but it's still really not enough for me. And I guess White Mirror actually makes a lot of sense with the mechanic of using the same name. But the TLDR is that we're really looking at these cards in the sense of it playing with the deck like Goatee. We're not really looking to build pure white auras or whatever. So I can see this being playable. You can search White Stingray, actually, because it's a decent extender. Or you can search for, like, the White Sardine if you want to go for that. But other than that, it's not really, like, the most insane card. Actually, now that I think about it, White Aura Monoceros specials any fish from grave, including a level 8 or higher fish synchro. You could actually use the third effect pretty reliably with White Aura Monoceros. But it looks like that's going to do it for the new White Aura support. So again, very interesting, but also kind of weird archetype because it's just now barely being treated as an actual archetype. But even then, it's only for the White Aura synchro monsters and not like the white cards in the main deck. So I don't know, I think that's a bit weird. It'd probably be just way too hard to make it an actual main deck archetype though, because you got things like Blue Eyes White Dragon and stuff like that, White Duston, it would be a hell to do. But what do I think about these cards overall? I think White Aura Porpoise in particular is the really big thing to note here. Maybe even White Sardine, but when it comes to White Reincarnation, it seems a bit too specific for now, unless someone comes up with some really good goo to cook. And then White Sunfish just does not really seem worth it in a deck like Goatee specifically. But I don't know, that's just my opinion. Let me know your side in the comments below. I know I'm gonna get a lot of people who are just like, you shouldn't be thinking of just Goatee. This is White Aura. No, it's fish support, y'all. But let me know in the comments below what you thought, because that's going to do it for the video. If you like it, please sure leave a like, as well as put this video and the channel into your recommended. And if you like the content and you want to like the rest of my review series, then perhaps consider subscribing, because we're into 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. We're really close, by the way. Also, it supports the channel more than anything else, and it's absolutely free. Also, want to support me while getting some awesome TCG merchandise in the process, check out Tapio cards in the link down below. Use code Aurora5 at checkout for 5% off your purchase and to support me directly. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Aurora, signing off.